think I'm deaf in one ear.
Are you loud? Do you need me to turn you down a little bit?
I'm trying just a touch.
Okay.
Really just the high stuff.
Sorry.
That's all good.
That was my bad.
That sounded good. It just after it, I couldn't hear it.
Nice.
That was
very whatchamacallit, it sounded very I mean, I was using a lot of wild scales like Mixolydian for the major part and doing some Phrygian.
I'm just bouncing back and forth between C major and C minor, and nothing too fancy. I played around a little bit with the D shape for the C chord, and
yeah. What I like doing with that kind of stuff,
fit once or twice here and there.
What I like doing with that kind of stuff is play me a C major chord. However, so what I like about this playing a C Mixolydian scale. Basically, you take the 7th note of the scale, and this is kind of like guitar nerd, or well, music theory nerd stuff, and you flatten it. So I'm pretty much playing a. Go ahead and
C
play,
major.
Dan. Yep. C major. So I'm playing an F major scale over here. And it just kind of gives it that. Just a little spice. A little bit of an exotic sound. And then if you play the C minor. Yep. If you want to do something crazy over a minor chord, do a Phrygian scale, which a Phrygian is you take, I usually think in like plus or minuses in my head when I think of accidentals. So you know how C major has no sharps or flats? C minor has, you add 3 flats, that's what makes it a minor scale. And a Phrygian, you add 4. So in my head, I go, oh, well, that's A flat major. So if you're playing a C minor, and I play an A flat major scale. Makes it sound just a little more exotic.
Exotic is the word, yes.
I think that's the word that I'm going to use.
That works. Sounds good. So, the C Mixolydian is basically the equivalent of playing an A sharp major.
Yeah.
Okay. Fancy stuff.
No. C Mixolydian is an F major.
F major.
Yeah. Sorry.
So it's up here.
Yeah, so here I'll play. like that Stone song. Wild Horses. Where he's doing the... For whatever that is. Transition to the next verse or something, he does that. Yeah. So there you go.
Lovely.
Scales.
It's weird how when I put it in the context of C, it sounds kind of really exotic, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And then when I go ahead and go to the F, it just sounds like, major.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it
Yeah.
it bounces between exotic and happy, and all you're doing is playing the same exact notes.
Right. Right. Yeah. And it's that's what's so cool about it is like, you get that nice, if I give you a nice big old play an F major scale. Now play a D minor pentatonic. There you go. Are you feeling it? Or you could play a D minor scale too. D minor. A D minor. Yeah. You could do D minor pentatonic or D minor, either one.
Oh, D minor.
Yeah. Yeah. You could flip between the two. It gives it a cool flavor. That would be a way to open up church service, wouldn't it?
It would be something. I'm not sure people would what to expect from it, because it's kind of that heavy metal zone, And people be like, "This isn't your standard pentatonic scale,
Yeah,
or a major scale."
Yeah.
It doesn't sound bad. I'm just not sure what to do with it.
I love that, dude, because it just sounds hearing that extra note that's different in the scale when you're just doing a drone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and a drone is just like, just a straight up C chord, for example, just playing. Just keeps playing. Actually, here, I'm going to turn my Sustainiac on.
C there.
Church service starting. like it's like you're entering this, like, for me, I mean, this is for me, I feel like you're just entering this other dimension. That's why I dig this scale so much. When I think about this scale, well, you know, prime example, best use of this scale, Jimi Hendrix, Third Stone from the Sun. Which, since you're the scientist, what is the third planet from the sun?
Earth.
Nice. So he's writing a song called Third Stone from the Sun, and it's about Earth. Or it could be something else, I don't know. Now, check this out. Same service, right? Sunday morning, Dan's up on stage. You hear this like synthy sounding C chord come out, and all of a sudden you hear this.
Anybody here ready to praise Jesus? That Australian accent in there.
Yeah. That was actually pretty cool. Just having a drone with my Sustainiac pickup on. Sustainiac pickup, ladies and gentlemen, is that thing.
So proud of it.
Right there.
So proud
That
of
sustains notes. I got an on and off switch here. So, boom, it's on. I go and I hit a note, right? I could go have a coffee. I could make coffee, right? I could go make a cup of coffee, hold this note at the same time, and it would still be going forever. And then I have 3 settings. Here's my first setting. And my third setting. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Is that an A you were holding?
Yeah.
I finally found it. I keep pulling my ears out.
Oh boy. So, first conversation. Playlists. What'd you have this week, Dan?
Well, I listened to Hillsong United's new single called I don't remember what it's called. It's really good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's musically it's good, but poetically I really appreciate their writing style.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Another band I've been listening to, Atlas. They're a Midwest math rock band.
Okay.
Which is like emo jazz.
Nice.
It's good.
Emo jazz. Okay.
Yeah.
So, skinny jeans,
Skinny jeans.
fedoras.
No fedoras, but the mustaches. Like just the mustaches, like Hello Officer mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't really grow a full beard, so you got a mustache kind of deal.
You could probably grow a full beard, but you don't. You just grow a mustache because you're in the 70s and you think mustaches are cool.
Dude, dude. I got a picture of my dad back in the 70s, man.
Yeah.
And my dad was basically yeah, I mean, I guess he was. I guess he was just a hippie, right? And he had the whole afro out to here, okay. And the stash was like this just thick thing, right? And there's a picture of him standing outside of a shed. I'm sure my sister's got it somewhere. He's standing outside of a shed, and he's got a cigarette in his mouth, and he's holding a shotgun like this. He's holding the shotgun, the barrel's against his side, and he's just kind of leaning on one leg, and he's got a cigarette, and it's just hilarious.
It's like, sounds like quintessential 70s material.
Used to ride around on those little Triumphs and Suzuki motorcycles.
Put a lawnmower on a motorcycle. That's what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, hilarious stuff.
What would happen if we powered a motorcycle or a bicycle with a lawnmower?
Yeah. Well, you know those first motorcycles that came out, basically a bicycle, you know? Mm-hmm. When you look at those old Indian motorcycles, you ever seen those?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it literally just looks like a bicycle. They put some, like, you know, they made a frame that was a little more sturdy. But
those things are popular.
Yeah.
Among collectors, I should say.
Yeah.
I need to get closer.
Yeah, and yeah, they're cool. And my dad had this old Triumph for a long time, and we ended up having to sell it. But yeah, I would like if down the road. I like what Indian motorcycles got. Have you seen their newer bikes?
Mm-mm.
They look pretty nice.
Yeah.
They kept that like classy look,
uh-huh.
but it still looks new, and especially with their Scout,
new classy,
just that nice dark red leather seat, the you know, the whole structure of it just kept it looking pretty classic. Not like the old bicycle looking ones, but like, you know, 70s. More of those years.
Makes sense.
They're nice.
I'll have to look it up after.
Indian motorcycles was the first motorcycles around, and they were based in my hometown. The Indian Motorcycle Museum, Springfield, Massachusetts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I knew that, but I just Springfield.
I made when I was in high school, I was like middle school or like freshman high school. I did a little presentation on the history of Indian motorcycles.
Okay. I just saw it on like American Pickers.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, and they were like finding old bikes and stuff, or
yeah. I don't really care for the show, but
yeah,
you know, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, seeing them pick up the old motorcycles, some of the stuff they find is pretty cool. Most of it's just junk.
Yeah.
You know, most people just buy too much stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that other show, Pawn is it Pawn Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just these guys running a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Count's Customs?
No.
So like the dude, he's friends with those guys from Pawn Stars, and I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. It's all in Nevada. So you know he's got his custom car shop, and he makes all these wacky stuff.
Oh, I love that, dude. There was a show on Netflix, Gotham Garage.
Okay. Yeah, this is basically same concept. So.
Yeah, there was this show called Gotham Garage on Netflix, and it was a fun show. But dude, and you always wonder when you're watching this show, like, is it really just these 5 people doing this?
5 people will get a lot done.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to remember, like, these shows, you kind of lose this track of time, but these
Right.
shows are recorded across like months at a time or weeks at a time and then condensed down.
Right.
Which is, people don't realize that because it's like, oh, look at how much progress they're making in this short amount of time. It's look at how much the video editors are, cutting things down.
Right. Well, it's a great show, and these people, they don't just like restore things. They make things look pretty wild. Like they like to do a whole art thing. The only thing, and has nothing against them, I think they do great stuff. They always have like this signature that they put on all the cars, and I'm just kind of like, like they like spider webs.
Okay.
And they put this like, whether it's the paint job, the fender, the tail lights, they got some kind of like spider web thing somewhere. And it's just kind of like, And one time if they're doing like a real job where they can't, they know they're restoring something, like they had an episode where they restored some old, I want to say it was some old, what did they call those cars where it was like concept car.
Okay.
I think it was a Cadillac was making, and they made it looked like something from the Jetsons back in the 60s. It just looked like this ship with this little bubble that your upper body was in, and you had the steering wheel, and the whole car was like chrome, and it had this whole like slipstream look, and it just looked like something out of the Jetsons, like 1960s old looking thing.
There was this video I saw, like, the Jetsons, the sound that the spaceship the airship that they fly around in, beep, 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 beep. They were.
You can get that sound effect for your Tesla, right?
Yeah, that's what the video was doing. It was taking these like drag racing cars and being like, 60 years in the future, when I'm drag racing an electric car, and it just plays that noise over drag racing cars.
Dude, you can apparently get, like with these Teslas now, you can get like different, supposedly you can get it to make sounds. Because I remember when they first came out with the smart car, my sister owned one, and they actually put a sound chip in the thing because it didn't make any noise.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest selling point is, these combustion engines, people want that noise and that feel and the way it vibrates the ground. Also, I don't like electric cars because I can't hear them coming, and they're gonna hit me one of these days.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something we're gonna have to solve.
Especially when they're self-driving and they decide to like take over the world.
Well, I don't know that. That's that. Yeah.
Imagine that.
If they did that, yeah.
They just turn against the creator, start racing around.
Yeah, someone.
We think Terminator was gonna be thing. It's actually gonna be Tesla cars.
Someone made
running around, racing around, mauling people.
Yeah, someone made the joke that with the rise of self-driving trucks, pretty soon someone's gonna have a country song where the guy's truck drives away from him too.
There was a movie again in the 70s called something, oh gosh, that was the whole plot, was that cars came to life and just started killing people. And semi-trucks were like the biggest threat, obviously, because they could just smash through.
I mean, I had nightmares
buildings.
About cars trying to run me over, but
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I never.
Actually, pretty frequently too. It's
really.
I'm not talking like every night, but like once a year, twice a year. Yeah.
70s film.
I wonder. There's a Futurama episode that does
truck.
Like that.
Killer trucks. Film. Killer semi truck. Let's say Maximum Overdrive. There you go. That was the name of it.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
And of course, you had the
there's a one
Max whatever. Oh shoot! It's like
Mad Max.
Mad Max. Yeah, thank you.
That was good. I like the Mad
I
Max.
never saw it. My friend watched it, the old ones.
Yeah.
My roommate back in college, he'd watch them.
Yeah.
Had no idea what was going on, and just knew like people were in cars and like they're pirates. And
Yep. Cars became like the. It was like having a ship or something. That's how people survived. Everybody was fighting for fuel. And Mad Max. Because the first one's kind of a slow start, you know, because you're waiting for this madness. The first one is kind of believable because post-apocalypse, Australia, you know, because everybody's just hanging out in Australia while the world blows up, and they're like, dang.
Right now, the world.
What do we do now? And Australia's just chilling. Which is probably what's really going to happen in real life, you know.
No, Australia's probably going to be the first to go. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
They're pretty wild right now down there. I don't know if you've seen what's going on, but
I have seen, yeah.
It's pretty messed up.
With that and every predator known to man there.
That and every predator known to man.
I mean...
Although the predators, I think, are now being required to carry cell phones as well. So they're just... So that they can keep them properly locked away.
I'm talking animals.
I know. I am too.
So, but anyway, yeah. So in the movie, the original one, he's a cop.
Yeah.
World's ending. Something happens. Like the police force just kind of die out. They're just like, it's all crap.
No one's paying us.
And most of them, I think, get killed. I think some of them get killed by these road pirates that are on motorcycles, and it just so happens they have this this souped up car, which I want to say was hang on, I'm not gonna say it until I see what it is. It was a Falcon. V8 Interceptor muscle car.
You'd think if the world's ending, they'd choose like a car that doesn't use tons and tons of gasoline. Because like the whole premise is like gasoline's extremely rare. Or was it gasoline was plenty available and water's rare? I can't remember. I literally
I thought it was... I don't know.
I'll have to actually
I thought it was because cars were super popular because it was the only way to get around and survive because, like, computers, cell phones were gone. Getting from point A to point B, you still had gas vehicles, and it was just kind of a fight for oil at that point. But, he gets this Interceptor, and he just starts whipping around and taking out this motorcycle gang, and you know, it was all right. The next one is kind of like where you start getting into the guys wearing the crazy outfits, and I think it's the Road Warriors, the second one. And the one with Tom Hardy, the new one, did you see that one?
No.
Dude, that one was like, that was a fun one, man.
Yeah.
And what was funny, it was like...
Didn't they just record live video footage from Los Angeles for that one?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but it did win like a award for cinematography, right? Yeah.
Okay.
But you when you watch it though, what I liked about watching it is like they actually used real vehicles. Like they did have. It wasn't like this crazy CGI
really
thing.
Set people on fire and
there was CGI when they enter like a sandstorm and stuff, but you're looking at a lot of scenes. And you're like, they still used actual stuff.
I mean, I think with the Hobbit movies, what they found out is people actually like the look of costumes over the look of CGI.
Right.
Even if the CGI, you can't even tell it's CGI.
Right.
People, for whatever reason, like the look of props and costumes.
I think it's just it's like when you see a CGI thing, you're like, automatically like that isn't real. Like, and I think it's like in the back of everyone's head.
It's getting, you can't even tell the difference now. Like, because I think you'd be surprised at how much CGI they use and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's cooler to see somebody dressed up
yeah.
in some wacky outfit for me.
I think maybe what it could be is that when they're dressed up and they're acting.
Like the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
When they made the 3 new Star Wars films, they could have used a bunch of CGI. But they just had people dress up in the old costumes, and I enjoyed that. I thought that was
lightsaber. No, I'm kidding.
Even the lightsaber was real. I mean,
it was a stick, and they superimposed the light on it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Those are hotly contested movies because
yeah, I know
most people don't like them.
Yeah, they were talking about pulling them at one point or something whack, right?
That'd be a weird thing to do.
I don't know how you do that.
As a studio, be like, "Oops, just kidding."
And like, what is it? We can never find it again. Like, what's the deal?
I would kind of lose respect, artistic. Like, I didn't care too much for the second movie, but on some level, stand by what you make. You know, I know it's all about money, but if you're going to make something,
which like Attack of the Clones?
No.
You're talking about
episode 8.
Episode 8.
Return
Okay.
or The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite possibly the worst Star Wars movie ever made.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it, but the new Star Wars movies, they just, whoever wrote them was trying too hard to be different.
Yeah.
And it just.
What was the ninth called?
The ninth?
Force Awakens? No, that's a video game.
Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Here's the thing.
I thought the ninth one did a good job.
I thought it did too. And you know what I thought about when I saw it as I was watching it now? Because, Star Wars is Disney now.
Uh-huh.
And, you see these Disney movies and, if you're a Disney fan, all right, I'm not, that's fine. But I see a Disney movie and I'm like, okay, it's just too fluffy for me, I guess. Like, I feel like it's very just embracing everything and there's no like real meaning. And the ninth Star Wars movie was the one that came out and was talking about, you're watching the main character, the girl, what's her name? Rey. You're watching Rey. And she's having this, like, throughout the whole film, this battle with herself.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what happened to Mark Hamill in the first 4.
Yeah.
It was 4, 5, and 6.
And you're watching this, like, this happen, and you're like, okay. Like, I actually appreciate, like, it kind of gave this message of, like, maybe everything that's inside you isn't meant to just come out. And I feel like every Disney movie that comes out is this self-accepting, like, oh, this is how I feel, but they're like, honestly, if we just, and I'm the kind of person, like, if we just came out and I was like, I'm just gonna do it however I feel, we'd have a problem.
We very much would. I think in media in general and stuff, we're having this big rise in moral relativism.
Yeah.
I know that's a super philosophical concept, but this idea that there's no right, so how do you explain, good versus evil?
Right.
If there's no right or wrong, then how can you say good versus evil? Yet the crux of Star Wars is that there's
a good and there's
good
an
and evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And some would argue that there is no good and evil in Star Wars, and I would disagree with them extremely much because, you don't look at the Death Star blowing up an entire planet and think, okay, that's morally gray area.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you when you see and maybe you have a more in-depth vision on this, but when they made the villains in Star Wars, they kind of have this like mission of we're trying to replenish the universe or something, or the galaxy.
So
and
it
we're
depends
trying
on
to
which
make
one you're looking at. Really, So
And that means if you're a problem, if you stand up against us, we're gonna just kill you off, basically.
they're trying to bring peace and order to the galaxy through force.
Through force, exactly.
Through force. And that's the interesting thing, is because you might think of it like, oh, that's a noble mission, but it's like we're bringing peace and order by killing anyone who disagrees with us. It's just like, it's
And you can find multiple things in history.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
And that's precisely the danger presented by the episode 1, 2, and 3 I think are horribly underrated, because I think the writing behind them is fantastic. The acting not so much, but the writing behind them is fantastic. The acting is not terrible, but when you get
I didn't think it was bad, yeah.
When you get deep into the story and what they're actually portraying, it's like, oh, this is pretty straightforward. Like, my favorite thing is like at the end where she's like, so this is how liberty ends, with thunderous applause, or democracy ends with thunderous applause. And it goes to show, like, you know, you're sacrificing your voice and giving power to tyrants.
Yeah.
As opposed to what was probably less efficient.
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, that's really, really well written.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done. And I thought 7 was great. I thought 8 tried too hard, but I thought 9 would have been a lot better had it not been trying to make up for 8 the entire time.
I thought 7 was exactly episode 4.
It was.
And everybody came over to me and was like, well, that's great. I mean, I appreciate that. I like how, and I was just like, no. I mean, come on. Like, look, can we just have something like,
I like that it introduced a whole bunch of new stuff, though. It started the story. Like, yeah, it was exactly.
And
like
they even kind of made
but
fun of themselves in the movie, because weren't they sitting around trying to figure out how to destroy the new Death Star? And like, wasn't it Han Solo comes up and he's like, oh, shoot at the center of it. And sure enough, they shoot at the center of the thing and it blows up. And it was like, are you serious? Like, I was taking that as a nice joke.
They didn't shoot at the center.
But, well, however, whatever that thing is on the top, and it has like a shaft that goes down to wherever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I was like,
but I mean,
really?
Think of it this way. So let's say there's a vulnerability in the way power systems are set up, such that they'll wipe out whatever they're attached to. Like, you would think, like, okay, we got to attack that same vulnerability. So if it's exactly the same, that's just consistency of technology. I mean, it's less of a video game at that point, where you might have to have new, different play styles just to defeat a boss. This is more like, okay, you're fighting technology, and technology's pretty much the same across the board.
Yeah.
For a given, designer, I would say. So, they attacked the power bank, the central power station, and it left all its power unstable throughout the entire thing, and it just blew it up. I mean, there was a lot that was just that's what a lot of people complain about, is there was this whole universe that the fans had created of Star Wars books, and they're really good. They're really great stories.
Yeah, yeah.
But Disney was like, no, we're going to make up our own.
I see.
And so it's just, and then they did that, and it's just like, you could have done better. I think what they did is they tried to play it safe, like they do with Marvel.
Yeah.
They tried to turn Star Wars into Marvel, and it's just not Marvel.
Yeah.
Different storytelling, different universe.
I thought they nailed it with The Mandalorian, though. I did watch that.
Yeah, Dave Filoni, and what's his name? I can't remember. He actually plays in Marvel. He's Tony Stark's assistant.
Oh, Favreau?
Yeah,
John
Favreau. Yeah.
John Favreau. Yeah.
Yeah. He directed The Mandalorian, him and Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Or directed, wrote it, something like that. He also did the Clone Wars TV series. I know it's a kids show, but it's fantastic.
He also brought to life Marvel, didn't he? Didn't he do Iron Man?
He did Iron Man, I think.
Yeah.
He did something in Marvel, yeah.
Yeah. I thought, he did good, man. He does a good job getting things together, and
I think he directed ELF as well.
With Will Ferrell?
Yeah. He's got range.
Yeah, he did good, and somebody was saying they posted something about how he started the Avengers and saved Star Wars, and there was something else he did, but he's done good.
Yeah, the Star Wars Clone Wars TV series was a kid's series, but it was so well written.
Was it?
It's definitely not. It's made for kids, but it's not made for kids.
Yeah.
It's just the writing on it's fantastic. The storytelling, the character growth, all of it is just. Yeah, most people consider it the gold standard of what Star Wars storytelling could be.
Yeah.
And I venture to say it's even better than 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that.
It's just
that it was great, and
it was good.
Yeah, but I did appreciate in episode 9 that dynamic.
Oh
when Disney was
yeah.
coming out with all this other stuff that was this very self-accepting, and it was like just be you. And,
yeah.
Which is it's good to agree, if it's good to a degree, but there comes a point where it's like, all right.
At some point, you got to realize, like, no, not everything about you is good. There are some things you need to change. I'm not saying that to be harsh on you. What I'm not saying is that you're worthless.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is you may actually have to work in order to change something about yourself.
Exactly. Right.
And I get it. That's not easy to hear because, well, one, you might like it. Two, you might just be lazy.
Yeah.
It might be hard.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah.
But
and
sometimes you got to hear it.
And a lot of the ones that have that kind of message are like oriented towards kids. And and I guess with kids, they
it's hard.
Young ones coming up, like middle school, you're kind of going through like you're like dealing with a lot of crap, and if you're going to school.
Middle school and high school, suicide among kids is through the roof.
Yeah.
Suicide's more of a threat to kids than the virus that shall not be named. I'm and people don't realize that. And so that's why it's that whole big push, like, oh, accept yourself for who you are. It's like, what we really need to be telling people is just, like, I mean, you're made in the image of God. He didn't make a mistake making you. But that does not mean everything about you is perfect as is.
Yeah.
You might need to work on yourself.
Right. And I guess for me, just as a person, natural person, I was just not a satisfied kind of person. I'm always,
but with that said, I can take it too far too.
You can take that too far. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that too far too, man. It's true.
It's like, well, nothing's good about me. It's like, no, that's also too far.
Yeah, you can become so focused on doing something you either hurt yourself. Like, I mean, a prime example for me is, going to the gym. I love doing like strength training stuff. Yeah. And I started doing this program because for years I was going off of percentages. I would calculate my max. And I would do a month where I would build to up to like 95%. So I would start at like first week of the month would be like I'm pushing 75%. Second week of the month I'm pushing like 80. Third week I'm doing like 85, and maybe fourth week I'm doing 90 or 95. So this other program takes it to a whole new different way of thinking, where you go to the gym, you go do your lift, and you put weight on, and you go, after you do however many reps, you say, okay, how many more could I have done? And you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 7 being you could have definitely done 3 more. 8, you definitely could have done 2 more reps. 9, you definitely could have done 1, and then 9.5 is like maybe could have done 1 more, and then 10 is like no way, that was all I got. So this approach, dude, I mean, it's done great, but when I first started doing it for the first couple of weeks, I did hurt myself.
Yeah. I've known.
And I had to take a week off. And I wore it because I just strained something. I might have pulled something in my lower back, and I just wore a big old hefty belt for a week when I went to bed, especially. And just put this belt on, cranked it down so it would just hold everything in place. Yeah. And after a week, I was fine.
I've not heard more than one story where someone started in on P90X.
Oh yeah.
And they nearly destroyed their kidneys.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Because of the crazy cardio it's got you doing, right?
Something about the protein, the influx of massive amounts of protein, or
so there's a diet that goes along with it?
No, it's not a diet. It's just something about the way the protein breaks down in your muscle fibers when you're not ready for it. It gets filtered out by your kidney, but your kidneys can only do so much.
Yeah.
And so it shuts them down.
Really?
So more than one person I've heard about almost shut down their kidney because of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's no joke because I think what happens is when you put your body through too much strain too quickly, you don't have the facilities there. You don't have the muscle strength and everything else. So like as your muscles tear, because they naturally tear when you work out, they get destroyed. They get cleansed by your system. And next thing you know, you got tons of blood. You got tons of protein in your bloodstream. That's getting filtered out by your kidneys and it's shutting them down.
Yeah.
And so, it's a dangerous thing to do too much too quickly. And I think a lot of people, that's another thing is like, well, I can't change. It's like, well, you may not be able to change tomorrow, but you could change next year.
Right.
You could start seeing little itty bitty parts of your goals,
Yeah, and I think a part of that too has to go with, when somebody jumps into P90X, they're like all amped up to do this, and maybe they don't have a whole lot of athletic background, and they get into it thinking, it not knowing their limits.
Yeah.
And they end up going way past it.
Or you're just trying to impress people.
Yeah. Like part of what I like about this program is that I have gotten to understand where I'm at, and be like, okay, this is a good spot to just do this at, and, but it's really good. And, after 16 weeks of doing it, so the first 8 weeks, after 3, and it's an 8-week cycle. So my first 8-week cycle, 3 weeks in, hurt myself, took a week off. Next week, got back into it, slowly, gradually built up again. Then I was like, after the 8 weeks, I was like, well, I got to try it again because I injured myself. Mm-hmm. So I started doing it again and came to the end of that. And it did pretty good, dude. I was stuck in a rut of like squatting like 350 and benching 275. Yeah. But at the end of this 8 weeks, I made a 400-pound squat and a 300-pound bench press.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I'm still in the sub 200s, so.
That's all right, dude. I mean, and that's the thing is everybody's going to have a different place. Yeah. Like, I could probably come across a guy that thinks that isn't enough for looking at me. But, it's just different for everybody. I knew a guy that was like maybe 4, or he was 5'6", 5'4", and the dude was squatting like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what they said. We squat to make the voices go away. Oh, man.
My favorite thing to watch is this guy, David Goggins. And he's got an Instagram page, and he's just, for one, he's super on like doing crazy amounts of reps and cardio. And as he's going and going, and he's crazy, and he's just yelling, and he's like, at some point he's got this video out there where he's doing incline bench press and somebody's spotting him, and he's going for reps, and he's like going and going and going, and he's getting to like 15 reps, and he starts to get kind of worn, and he's like, all of a sudden he just starts going, "You don't know me." Bangs out 2 more. "You don't know me, son." Does 2 more. And then his eyes just go nutty, like big eyes. And he's looking right at the camera and he goes, "Who's going to carry the boats?" And he does like 4 more. Which I didn't know what that meant. Apparently that's an old SEAL training thing. And I think David Goggins, I don't know if he's got a connection with SEAL training. But
SEAL training's wild.
Yeah.
It's a whole other wild thing.
Yeah. But that's apparently a SEAL quote. Who's going to carry the boats? And I just remember watching it like, who's going to carry the boats? What is he saying?
He's having a stroke. Someone stop him.
What is that supposed to mean? And I was like, it sounds awesome. Yeah. I mean, what does it mean though? And that's when I found out that's what it was.
Just start yelling out nonsense at the gym. That'd be crazy to do. Just like get the bar by itself.
Yeah.
And just do bench presses with it, but just like that you're like maxing out with just the bar by itself.
Well, when I was going for the 400-pound squat,
yeah,
you know, you get in a position, take a deep breath, and I went down, and as I was coming up, there's kind of like this moment where you're just like you're trying to get muscles to activate. So you're like, okay, here's this position, and I think it has something to do with the brain. Like here's this position and that, and then boom. But I got to a point where, you know, you just hit this primal state of mind, and I just was like, I was down, halfway up, paused for a second, and I just went up, and just yelled up as loud as I can, and just racked it. And it's just this primal thing that comes out of you, I guess. I don't know what it is. Yeah. You just say minimal words as loud as you can. Usually has something to do with the motion you're doing, and, you know, you're all good.
Walking has helped my singing.
Really?
Of all things, yeah.
Okay.
Like walking and possibly lifting too, but I mean, I'm just doing.
Oh.
To keep myself from tensing and having the blood just absolutely flow all to my brain, but
okay.
So just I exhale slowly as I lift.
Yeah.
And so I think that activates these muscles and helps get them in.
Yeah.
Used to that. So.
That
was just something I noticed.
I was running, like last year I started running again,
mm-hmm.
and it just sucked, man. I mean, I just hate running.
No, it definitely sucks.
And I started to figure out, okay, what is a comfortable heart rate for me? And I guess there's like a calculation where you take, 210, subtract your age, and that's your maximum heart rate. Like that's your cardio madness heart rate, right? Have you ever heard that?
Is that right? Would that be? Yeah, that's probably that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's probably about right.
Yeah. So I started doing that, and I was like, so mine would be. I'm just gonna.
Mine's about 180.
Mine's probably 182. But let's see here. So 210.
Because I know my training heart rate's about 145.
Yeah. 183. Or so around there, 180, right? So I would get my heart rate there by running, right? And, dude, I was just dying. And then I was like, this program I'm doing now is like every Thursday, get on a treadmill, do 30 minutes of cardio, but only work like 60 to 70% of your heart rate.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah, just for like, training heart rate.
And then I'm thinking about it, and it's like endurance training. So technically for me, endurance training is about 150 where my heart rate's at.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I just put the treadmill on an incline, dude, at like a certain level.
Yeah.
And I just walk up that, dude, that gets my heart rate there. And I make it so I get my heart rate at a certain point, and I was like, man, all those times that I was just running and killing myself for no reason. I could have
just been walking on.
I could have just been walking.
My favorite. I don't like lifting, but walking for 30 minutes, I love it because I could just on the treadmill, I can just put like a video or something on my phone on the treadmill and just watch it while I walk.
A lot of people like that. A lot of people do that.
You know what I want? I want VR game where I have to walk in it. I would love that.
They got that stuff,
I
dude.
know, but it's just I can't afford like $60,000 worth.
Well, the college we went to, those bicycles they had,
Yeah.
where you're riding on a bicycle
But I want it to be like
in your face,
in my
yeah.
face, like
Yeah.
like I'm totally immersed in this game, but
Yeah.
I'm also dying on the outside. They're gonna get there, but that would excite me because like that would give me.
Well, just those VR things, period, can get people going pretty hard.
Yeah.
If you got the two controllers and
Video
you got
games
the thing
get you
on,
going. Yeah.
and you're playing some type of whatever. My brother-in-law got into it for a while, and we wore these VR headsets, and he downloaded a Star Wars game, and I'm sitting there fighting these people, and you know you probably don't have to move as much as I was moving, but it's like since it's so new to you,
Yeah.
you're just like moving, and you're like, you know, just fighting with a fake sword.
Yeah. Killing Ewoks, committing genocide.
And then they have the scary ones. I mean, oh my goodness, it gets nuts.
Yeah, I've thought about buying a VR system, but I don't want
They're
to.
expensive, and
Yeah, they are.
it's kind of
It's kind of hit or miss too,
yeah,
because it's still a new technology though. So I
Yeah.
give it time.
yeah. But yeah, I would like to have a home gym. Like if we get a nice house.
I saw a picture. It said at home gym master race,
Yeah.
and it showed a bar on top of one of those flimsy, like those chairs, those plastic chairs we would like sit in like kindergarten and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just
It said
teetering on two
at
of
home
them.
gym master race. It's just on those legs of that. Not two of them, one of them.
But see, for me, like if I just got one of those power cages,
Yeah.
a barbell, weight plates, dumbbells from 50 up to like 100, 120. I would love to have a pull down and a row machine, one of those ones that's like it's pull down or row, and then get a assault bike. That'd be it, man.
Yeah.
That would be all I need.
Yeah.
So, and I think it would just be nice to do it out of my house because I'm tired of kind of going to a gym and dealing with people. You know what I mean?
People.
I go to the gym in the morning and I walk over to my thing. It doesn't help that the gym I'm going to is about to close, so there's like no people working there. So I would get there, all I use is the cage. You know, I just go up to the cage. It's in the far back corner. I get to adjust the safety bars and everything, and I go over there and some dummy leaves crap all over the place. The things that's supposed to hold the bar are like all sprawled out. The safety bars are like over here and over there, and there's dumbbells in the way.
Yeah.
So when I work out on it, I just make sure I leave it ready for the next guy. Here's the barbell sitting on the racks. Safety bars or wherever.
You know what they say?
There you go.
If you can't put it down, don't pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you got to deal with in the gym world, So.
We are 11 minutes over.
That's all right. According to Twitch, those watching on Twitch, nice.
No.
According to Twitch, you got to be having at least an hour of material. Or I'm sorry, 2 or 3 hours. That's their recommendation if you want to make it big on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get there.
Yeah.
Probably have to start at like 9 or something like that.
Yeah. Nice. So is there anything musical we need to talk about now? After we talked about Pumpin' Iron and
I don't
talked
know.
a little bit about music, Pumpin' Iron and Star Wars.
I think it'd be fun just to play something.
All right.
But I don't know what. You got an idea?
Let's see what I got here.
You want to just drone something?
B minor. I just realized this is 151, so it'd match either. nice. It was good. It was chill. I was doing a live stream on, I think it was a Tuesday. I was able to figure out how to get the sound of rain in the background while I played. That would have been a good one to have that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try making that more consistent. Just playing on a Tuesday night.
Okay.
Maybe like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go.
Sounds good.
Anything else you need to say, Dan?
I don't know. I think I'm good. I think I'm empty in here now.
All right, good. Nice.
Which doesn't happen too often.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thanks for those who tuned in. And
Yes.
we are out.
Thank you.
The party is